Hi everybody and welcome back to Wolfie TV. And I saw this transfer rumour break as I was heading home. Mr. David Ornstein broke the news and I thought the second I get home I need to record a video about it. And of course it is about the club on screen, Newcastle United, and more importantly this man, Sandro Tonali. David Ornstein broke the news that Newcastle are very close to agreeing a €70 million bid for this man. And now, guys, how do I get you excited for this if you don't know too much about him and you're a Newcastle fan watching this? Well, firstly, let's start off by saying this is apparently Eddie Howe's #1 transfer target, and to get him so early in the window is such big news. The defensive midfielder who plays for AC Milan has also been dubbed as the potential next Andre Pirlo. Now, that's a massive statement in itself, and this is just a really good signing. I'm sure just the fee itself shows the magnitude of this signing. A player that's just got so many strengths, which I'm going to go into on this video, and also just has so much potential as well. Just 23 years of age. Now, as I say, he does play as a defensive midfielder. The transfer rumour that's come out from David Ornstein said that it's going to be around the €70 million mark. We don't know the breakdown of that yet, whether that's going to be like a straight payment, whether it's going to be maybe, I don't know, 40 million with objectives met, etc. But that is, of course, is around the £60 million figure. 23 years of old, central defensive midfielder that has so much to his game. Played most of the games in the league last season. And as well as being a defensive midfielder, he can really contribute. And I think this is the reason why he's really been dubbed as the potential next Pirlo, is because of his playmaking ability. You know, it's not just his defensive ability, which I'm going to go into, but it's also he can provide a goal and he can provide an assist, and he really is the complete midfielder, really. And I think that's why it's come at a huge fee. Now, for those guys that maybe play Football Manager or even FIFA, he's been a player that has been around definitely on those games for some time and has always been spoken about as a potential wonder kid, really, over the years. And he really is meeting that potential. And of course, this is such a big transfer fee. But much like with Newcastle's other big signings, we look at Guimaraes, we look at Isaac. The one thing that I think Newcastle are doing well is when they are spending big money, they're doing it on players that end up returning more than what they brought them for. I think Guimaraes, if you guys ever had to sell him, goes for more than what you brought him for. I'd say the same for Isaac. And I think even though you're paying a whopping €70 million, this is a lad which could go for much more in the future. If you ever, needed to move him on, or he wanted to leave because one of the huge Galacticos came in from, such as Real Madrid. And I mean, I also want to point out his SOFA score rating for the season, whilst in the league, was 7.21, which is a very high rating, guys. So let's talk a little bit about his strengths and his weaknesses. Hi guys, just a quick one from me before we get back to the video. If you're enjoying the video, please do me a massive favour. Hit that like button. Please do subscribe to the channel as well. We're going to be keeping you up to date with all the latest transfer happenings within the Premier League. And when the season gets started, we do lots of general football content on this channel. So hit that like button, subscribe, and let's get back to talking about Tonali. Well, firstly, as I said, he's been compared to Pirlo. He's got that playmaker ability about him. You know, he knows how to pick out a pass. He knows how to get the ball moving up the pitch and how to also get the ball moving up the pitch in quick transitions to really get the game flowing and, just get the spirit of the attack. And you think of the other players which you guys have available, the likes of Guimaraes, Joe Linton. You've obviously got the pace with Saint Maximin. You've got the striker ability of Wilson and Isaac. I just feel there's so much that's going to be here for him that he can really, just get into and really show his class through that playmaking ability. But that isn't the only part of his game. He's also obviously a defensive midfielder, and he does the tackling very well. He also does the blocking very well. He's also very, a very concentrated player in terms of he doesn't really switch off. You won't see too many mistakes from him. You won't see him like drop a runner or not know. He's got a really good understanding and reading of the game, much like some of these, I guess, historical Italian players when they were more in the prime, I guess, within like the 90s and the early 2000s. He really does feel like that new breed of one of those kind of players. Now, of course, on this video, I always pick a weakness. I haven't changed it from last time. Last video I did actually, I picked out a trait last time, but his one weakness, aerial duels. And maybe that's just because he is 5'11", but honestly, that was the only small weakness I could find. And I only do that objectively to kind of just give you a little bit of an overview of not just the fantastic things, but maybe something that is perhaps lacking. But I don't really think that's going to be anything to discourage Newcastle fans, and certainly nothing to really discourage why to sign him, because that's definitely why he isn't being signed. Of course, he also has his Champions League experience. He also, has just come through a huge team in AC Milan, and at 23 years of age, I think we've seen his development so far. He's just improved every season, and I think he really is ready for this big step into the Premier League, and more importantly, the step into Newcastle's United Champions League season come next season. So guys, that is an overview of what this transfer will bring. As I said in the video as well, if you have enjoyed the video, please do me a massive favor, hit that like button, please do subscribe. I'm going to be keeping you up to date with all the latest transfer rumours and activity going on across the whole of the Premier League. So do subscribe to the channel. Please hit that like button as well. It does help us massively. And I'll catch you on the next one. Take care. Goodbye.